It shouldn't come as a surprise that Joe Rogan is supposedly shedding light on the celebrities in Diddy's freak-off tape. He has a history of finding the truth and exposing organizations that aren't doing the right thing. What Jagmore Wright already told us is confirmed by this.
People are saying all of this Diddy commotion isn't what we should be focused on. Like, it's just a distraction.
I'm gonna tell you who I believe is on the tapes. I believe Barack Obama got a tape.
Yeah, he playing hide the hot dog.
I know Jennifer Lopez has multiple tapes.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
I know Beyonce got a tape.
Ooh.
I definitely know they probably recycled some old Stevie J and Eve stuff. I know Drake got a tape. I know Rihanna got a tape. I know Chris Brown's on one of them tapes. I know Trey Songz has been like a supporting actor in many freak-off films. Definitely Usher. I think what would shock people are the politicians. And the royals that were on that tape. And I'm still trying to figure out when Harry and Meghan are gonna be honest about their freak-off tape.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really wants to talk about the fact that the royal family had many times at Diddy party, especially that weirdo uncle.
Let's start with a big one, Porter and Kim.
But Kim Porter is the real puff.
Y'all don't be listening, but I hear
But she said that first.
you say.
But she said that first though. When she said Kim Porter was the real puff, nobody's listening. Nobody's hearing it. Or like, that's not my business. My business is little Hollywood stuff.
After being arrested on sex trafficking and racketeering charges, Diddy has rejected new information that says he is controlling. These new revelations back up what Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie said when she sued him for sexual abuse in 2023. There is now even more talk about what kind of relationship Diddy had with Porter, who died in 2018. Since Diddy is still in trouble with the law, people are paying more attention to his relationship with his late ex-girlfriend Kim Porter.
Puffy, he came out with a new album, man, called Love, and he got a song on there called Kim Porter. How you feel about that?
I think that's probably a great thing to do. You know what I'm saying? To honor the person that you said you love. To honor the woman who gave you a scar on your wrist for the rest of your life that you could always look at and remember. You know what I'm saying? So if he put that song out there to her, I guess he wanted to honor her. But he gonna always remember her. Kim was who Kim was. And then if he ever try to forget her, all he had to do is look at his wrist.
What you mean by that when you say that, you know, Kim Porter gave Puffy a scar?
When they were at home, at Kim's house on 110th Street, he wanted to, you know, put his hands on her in the wrong way. And Kim took one of those corkscrews and ripped his wrist up and hit an artery. And when she did that, he had to rush over to St. Luke's Hospital. I met him over there to the hospital. It was me, him, and Kim in the hospital when he was bleeding like crazy. And that was the beginning of him. And that's the first thing I knew about people getting hooked on opioids. You know what I'm saying? And that was from that accident. Oh, that was from the incident with him and Kim. When she wasn't taking that, she wasn't gonna take that ass whooping, and she got him off of him the best way she could.
Right. From your point of view, right, how would you describe Puffy and Kim Porter relationship when you was around?
Oh, it was volatile. It was like, you know, damn it she do, damn it she don't. Like Kim could not be with nobody else and he knew it. And he could do whatever he wants to. You know what I'm saying? And even when he was with J-Lo, like we'll put J-Lo in the house and he'll call and Kim wouldn't answer. And if she was out, he would ask the babysitter, you know, do you know where she at? Well, she said she was gonna be here because she had Kristen at the time. You know what I mean? So now we go on where Kim is at. And if she was with somebody, he made it very uncomfortable for that person to be with. using the bodyguards.
What you mean by that?
Like if we was there, you know, you not gonna be sitting up there, you know, and he pushing up on Kim, you not gonna do nothing to him while we there, or you not gonna say nothing to him while we there. Dude would just either step out or step away, or Kim would just get in another car and go or whatever.
Right, but from the outside looking in, right, from my point of view, it does look like he, you know, is living with a regret when it comes to her.
My man coulda, woulda, shoulda, all that look good for the media.
Diddy and Kim dated for 13 years from 1994 to 2007. They had 2 sons, Christian and Quincy Brown, and twin girls, Delilah and Jessie. Diddy took in Quincy from Kim's relationship with ALB before they got married. As more questions are asked about Diddy's actions, it's becoming clear that Kim may have had a hard time with him too. In fact, an insider who worked closely with both Diddy and Kim shared concerning information in an interview with Hot 97, highlighting Diddy's tendency towards power before the 2003 MTV Awards. The insider remembered a particular incident in which he was so controlling over Kim that he wouldn't let her leave until her hair looked exactly the way he wanted it. He was obsessed with one curl and said, "We're not leaving until this curl is right." It was a minor detail, but his control over her was obvious. Additionally, the insider detailed a violent brawl at a nightclub in Atlanta where they got into a fight and he started striking her with a bottle, to which she hurled one back. When Diddy turned to face me and said, "We're just 2 people who love each other," I thought, wow, she's standing up for herself. That was worrisome.
Kim Porter, we all know about the time that she cut Diddy with a corkscrew. Do you recall any other time that her and Diddy got into it?
Well, I could hear it in the suite, in the hotel suite. And then sometimes when Kim lived on 70th something street, and I would go upstairs with Diddy, you could hear this in the hallway. And I would just shake my head when he come out or whatever, and Kim would be in the house. And it's always about where she was at or who she was dealing with. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna see you physically put your hands on nobody. I don't give a who you are or what. I'm not gonna see you physically put your hands on her. You understand? That's not gonna be me. You know, first of all, I can't. The position I was in, you understand? Investigator for child abuse, worked for Elite Investigations, New York State parole officer. I'm mandated to do something. You understand? I'm mandated to do something. If she says, yo, his bodyguard was right there, but I'm still moonlighting. I'm moonlighting as his bodyguard. I'm working as his bodyguard, but I still have that other function as a state officer. I'm mandated to do something.
Crazy, man. So you could hear Diddy putting hands on Kim Porter.
Well, see, he always do, like I told you, he be doing that. He'll start off, he'll have something on his mind, and he'll like that play fight with them. You understand? And he'll be hurting them when they to the point where they'll be like, yo, stop. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they got the room is locked. You don't hear none of that. And then, you know, Kim will walk out in her white robe, and you can see it in her face. But what are you gonna do?
Right. I always wanted to ask you this, man. Do you know anything about these after parties that Diddy be having?
Which after parties? There's a lot of after parties. There's a lot of after parties for a lot of different reasons. There's after parties if we doing it at the hotel after we do a party, or there's after parties after the after party. You understand?
right. I guess the one people talk about is the after party.
Well, those will be when him and somebody that he needs something from or wants something from. And he'll get those girls and he'll line them up with him.
Details regarding Diddy's treatment of Kim after one of their splits were also revealed by the insider. According to the source, Diddy moved Kim into a supposedly run-down flat on the Upper West Side, where she told me there were rats everywhere. According to the insider, she knew she had to go after discovering rat feces in her boots one day. Al B. Shore, Kim Porter's ex-husband, has also voiced worries over her passing. A week prior to Diddy's arrest, Shore released Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side on Amazon. The book claims to include information Porter kept on a flash drive that she shared with friends prior to her untimely death in 2018 from lobar pneumonia.
Kim was always at least 1 or 2 steps ahead. She knew how it worked. She just miscalculated at the end.
Miscalculated to the level in which he'd go, or
Yeah.
Okay.
I think for her, she thought not even he would be willing to do that. You know, especially in the way he did it.
Right.
I'm still surprised that people have the ability to question it when her casket was pre-ordered.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Like, that fact in detail, people keep forgetting to mention. She had her casket ready 3 weeks before she died. Custom.
Wow.
In a September Instagram post, he said, "I've been posting about and tagging random law enforcement agencies in hopes of protecting loved ones to avoid deaths and tragedies that could have all been avoided for over 10 and a half. He also claimed that he had been ignored and ridiculed for his efforts, and that there had been an attempt to silence him in order to keep him from sharing the facts and insights he claimed Porter had shared with him during their frequent and intimate talks. He also claimed that Porter's devices had disappeared, and that notes meant for her memoir had been stolen, implying a cover-up about the circumstances of her death, which he called a tragic murder.
Kim Porter, do you know anything about her book? Because there's always been a rumor for a while now that, you know, she got killed because she was exposing a lot of stuff in her book. Is there any truth to that?
Unless they can hide unless she did her book on Google Duo and it's in the clouds and they could get somebody to get it out of there, she ain't got no book. It's just a conspiracy. Kim, it was alleged that she did have a book and that her book was about to come out. And she was talking about all the perils, everything that she went through in the music business and with Diddy. All the men that they slept with together, because there were men that they slept with together. There were swinging times that they slept with together. I don't know, man. How do you put your girl through something like that? Or how you look at your girl and knowing that she sexing another dude? What kind of demonic mind you have to be that far gone where that shit don't bother you for somebody that you love? But Kim Book was going to express all that. And I hope she did her book on Google Docs or she did her book somewhere that is floating in the cloud of the internet that somebody could go get it one day. Because any picture you take, anything that you write or say, it's in that internet cloud. You just gotta go get it. And one day, somebody gonna go get it. But I'm sure that he probably got hold to those tablets or whatever she had, allegedly, and got rid of them. They swimming with the fishes.
Wow, man. So she was about to expose all that in her book, them sleeping with men together.
She was gonna expose everything. I heard it was tell all.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Just curious, right? Did you know that Diddy and Kim had that type of relationship back then in real time?
Yeah. Yep. Because I know somebody personally that lives in Atlanta that was swinging with them, and I would never mention his name because he's a good brother and he knows my family down there. You know, he knows my family down there, and I would never, put his name out there like that. He's been in the music business. He done put a lot of groups, A-listed groups out there, especially A-listed groups from Atlanta. So I would never put his name out there like that. But, I got the key, I got the pass key to everything. But then when, they needed more ice or they needed bottles and stuff like that, when I used to go to the door and I knock on the door and they open the door, and then, my nosy, whoa, you see certain or they sitting in the jacuzzi together, all of them, nothing on. You see like that, bro.
Gene Deal also thinks Diddy killed Kim.
What I really believe is that they might got into a little spat, a little fight, something went down, and Puff did that play fighting stuff that he always do, and that pillow fighting stuff, and probably smothered her. But I wouldn't say that on the air. I wouldn't let people know that he probably smothered her to death, and because she had a bad cold or she felt some kind of way, that she died doing them having that play fight with the pillow fights and everything, and smothered her. But I'm not gonna say nothing like that on the program because I don't want to get myself in trouble. As far as saying that with him and say, oh, he said this and he said that. Nah, I'm just being facetious. I'm just being sarcastic that if, in those type of realms and those type of things, because I'm never gonna say that he probably smothered her to death. I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden they rush to do the coroner come in and say, yo, she had pneumonia. She died of pneumonia, but nobody did no autopsy or nothing like that. Get out of here. Have her funeral, put her in a gold casket. It takes, 2 months to get those gold caskets, had it within a week? Oh, you're a millionaire, I guess you can. You're a multi-millionaire, you can get it that quick. Then had somebody at the funeral home, had a bodyguard at the funeral home watching the dead body for 24 hours up until the funeral.
Since then, a lot of individuals have tried to minimize the book by saying it isn't real. But Jaguar Wright thinks there is more sinister activity behind this story.
If you was Diddy's PR team, the smartest thing for you to do would be create your own version of the Kim Porter book. And make sure it gets pushed out there first, so anything that comes after will always be held in question. It's brilliant. Yeah. It's great spin. Yeah. Get his version out before the real version come out. Y'all better believe everything that Al B. Shore says. It's about to get disgusting. See, this is the thing. Kim's official book was never sent out to anybody in complete form. See, this is T. How I know that the book isn't completely reputable. I know that there's a lot of truth in that book, but it is spin, and it is brilliant spin, and it is juicy spin. And I'm going to show y'all the value of what understanding how to spin narratives can change jury's mind.
Yeah.
However, what's even more horrifying is that Jennifer Lopez shielded Diddy from justice when Kim Porter died trying to expose him.
All Jennifer Lopez had to do was marry a white boy, Oscar winner, for people to stop remembering that she had a gun in her pocketbook. She had gunshot residue on her hands the night that Natanya was shot at that club. For all we know, that bullet came from the gun that was in her hand. And not once has she spoken up for the betterment of that woman. Not once has she donated to her family or for her medical bills that she's still paying, or say something in her defense to stop Puffy from gaslighting her and trying to put hits out on her because he was afraid that maybe one day they would open the case and she still has the bullet fragments in her face. Like J-Lo has said nothing. Nothing. You really thought that just running off and marrying Ben Affleck was gonna take you out of the Diddy downfall?
Jennifer Lopez, when she's finally held accountable for the part she played in the harm that was put on Natanya Rubin's life.
Do you think they'll bring up charges on Jennifer Lopez?
They better. She committed perjury. And the attorney that was representing the defense side of that suborned perjury. Last time I checked, there's no statute of limitation on perjury. We can start there. Let's bring Jenny to the cell block. She's been to every other block.
Sometimes they'll open up a case to bring light on other cases. Do you feel the Shine, the club night with him and Jennifer Lopez will come back to light?
Oh, absolutely. It has to. It has to. If it was good enough to be content on Law and Order for what? The 12th season, episode 9?
Diddy in December 1999, following a nightclub shooting in New York City, Jennifer Lopez and Moses Shine Barrow, a musician signed to Bad Boy Records, were arrested and imprisoned for 14 to 15 hours after police found a stolen firearm in the vehicle they were using to escape the scene.
Days of deliberations, the jury now appears to be focusing on the gun possession and bribery charges against Sean Puffy Combs. This afternoon, jurors sent the judge 2 notes, one of which asked for a transcript of a phone message Combs left Wardell Fenderson, once his driver, now the prosecution's star witness. During the trial, Fenderson testified that Combs was armed the night of the shooting at Club New York, and later pressured him to claim ownership of a pistol police found when they pulled over Combs' Lincoln Navigator as it fled the shooting.
And I just want to make you feel comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Make your family feel comfortable.
What exactly Combs meant by that is in dispute, but the prosecution claims the rapper offered Fenderson $50,000 or a diamond ring to take the rap for the gun. The jurors also wanted to hear a readback of testimony relating to Combs' former girlfriend, actress-singer Jennifer Lopez, who was in the Navigator when it was stopped by police. An officer testified that everyone in the SUV was ordered to put their hands on the vehicle, but Lopez walked away, saying she was going home. As she was being detained, a gun was discovered in the vehicle. At that point, a sergeant on the scene ordered everyone who was in the vehicle under arrest. The officer quotes Lopez as saying, "It's not my gun."
Jennifer was immediately freed and exonerated of all charges, but Diddy and Shine were charged with gun possession. Diddy was found not guilty, but Shine was found guilty of 5 charges, including attempted murder in 2001. Shine was given a 10-year prison term and was later deported to Bai. When Shine was released, there was a lot of conjecture that Shine had been set up for the killing.
They had separate lawyers, and everything went on Shine because Diddy found the witness against Shine and brought him forward. So I guess that's how you do your man when you don't want to go to jail. That's what happened, bro. Shine said it in the whole interview. On that documentary that Sean did from jail, he spoke about that. But he forgave him.
If that was you, would you forgive him?
Man, I wouldn't, bruh. I'm not into forgiving. That's for Christ.
And did you not know it? Shine admitted that recently,
when I was a 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgave, I moved on, but let us not pretend as if I was in Miami for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that I
saw a birthday cake.
Went again to do a charity event for impoverished youth in London. So let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life and who I forgave and who I moved on, and for the better interest of Belize, because he was in a position at that time to give scholarships and to maybe invest. I would not deny attempting to bring the investment to Belize and to bring the contributions to education to Belize, but don't distort it as if, he and I were bombali. This is someone that destroyed my life.
In fact, this case is so obvious that the victim continues to accuse Diddy, and the man has somehow escaped punishment.
I watched them both fire their guns. I watched them. I got hit right here, in my nose, in between my eyes, which means I'm facing directly at you. Just like I'm looking at you, and I can tell you got on black shades. They kind of look like Gazelles and an Adidas shirt. That's exactly how I was looking at him. And I watched him shoot me. The first thing I said when the bullet hit me, and listen, when right before the muzzle flash went off, when I had turned back to look, I heard God's voice say, "Relax, you are about to get hit, calm down." And when I screamed, "No," pop, pop, and it hit me dead in my face. And I never passed out, I never fell, I never cried, everybody started running, and just like when you watch a TV show.
After seeing footage of Jennifer Lopez from her relationship with City, who has recently been accused of mental, physical, and sexual abuse, Sue Knight has since claimed that Ben Affleck left her. There have been about 120 claims of Diddy abusing people, including coercing them into engaging in sexual acts. Concerns regarding Jennifer Lopez's 1999 to 2001 relationship with Diddy were made by video footage of him hitting Cassie and Ta while she was only wearing a towel. Knight suggested that the footage from this time might have contributed to the strain on Affleck and Lopez's relationship. Diddy has denied these charges and made a not guilty plea in U.S. District Court.
When they go raid Puffy's house, and they get all these videos, and J-Lo doing this and J-Lo doing that, and they know the fact that J-Lo lied and said that the gun was Shine or whatever, and sent that man to prison and destroyed his life, and she knew it was tough. I'm quite sure they probably called that the FBI gave respect, a courtesy call of Ben Affleck. It's a white man who got respect in the white world. I'm quite sure they said, "We want to show you some things. It's about your wife." When he sees this that her and Puffy was doing and who they was doing it with, I'm quite sure they gave his ass those tapes. And I'm quite sure he can never look at her the same. I'm quite sure they headed for divorce.
Diddy's homes in Florida and California were raided in March 2024, around the same time that Jennifer Lopez filed for divorce, saying that they had been apart since April 26, 2024. However, reports suggest that their marital problems had continued throughout 2023, as evidenced by the fact that Affleck's reserved and solemn demeanor clashed with Lopez's more gregarious personality. This was particularly evident during their appearance at the 2023 Grammy Awards, where Affleck, who has publicly voiced his distaste for public gatherings, and the media looked visibly uneasy, which fueled rumors that the couple was having problems in their relationship. In addition to J-Lo, two well-known figures who look to have been caught on Diddy's bizarre tapes are Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Widespread discussion over Beyoncé's supposed ties to Diddy in an October 7, 2024, interview with American News Network has been sparked by a leaked audio tape. In addition to discussing Diddy's legal troubles, Dame Dash was questioned about his opinion that Jay-Z was complicit in the scandal. This was Dash's answer.
The fact that he's just in a lot of pictures and he's over there a lot, objectively, you kind of have to wonder. It's kind of hard not to. You know, like for me, it's a little different because, you know, I once knew him, not in about, 20 years. And, I know Puff. So it's like the stuff that I'm hearing, like even the stuff that's already been admitted, like, the pause, the freak-off parties. It's like shocking to me, the reality of that was going on and I didn't know. So right in this moment, like almost anything is possible. Like I would hear certain rumors and they were just too far-fetched to me. But the accusations that are being made, they're beyond the stuff that I was even hearing about. So again, I would hope that he doesn't and was not involved in any of these things, just regardless to whether they were illegal or not, just morally, it would be shocking to me, and I'm sure to the rest of the world, if he gets caught up in that. But the way they're painting this picture on TikTok and virally and, a lot of the things that are being said often, it's hard not to trigger suspicion.
Referring to the statements Dash made, Dash expressed his surprise at the claims made against Diddy, which include that he organized freak-off parties and that he uses horse tranquilizer to drink.
If he was, pause, undercover gay, because I didn't know it, and obviously if he was knocking men out and they were waking up violated, he's making somebody gay that doesn't want to be gay. So I'm like, what was in them drinks? And then I'm starting to think like, damn, when did hip hop start to lose its masculinity? When did dudes, and again, no disrespect to nobody, but like toughness started wearing dresses and pocketbooks, like maybe that could be the reason. And I'm just thinking it through. Like maybe that could be the reason why hip hop took a turn for the feminine, because that shit, if homie was really putting in people's drinks and he's making the liquor, and again, I don't know, and I'm not even saying it to be funny, but they saying, homie was putting in mother baby oil. So how could you trust that person to serve you drinks at such a big scale?
Additionally, Dash recalled a day when Diddy had Jay-Z drink Diddy's spirits brand, Triac, and recalled Jay-Z getting very intoxicated. Dash told a personal tale.
To the extent, and my daughter and I were talking about this the other day, that I was like, yo, I don't get this drunk. Why am I so drunk? And I ended up, pause, wrestling with Kevin Hart. Pause, nigga got me in a chicken wing. And I remember Vaughn taping that. And I'm like, yo, why you taping, Vaughn? So I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, because homie makes drinks too. And again, just if this is true, these are the things that I'm like, just reflecting on. And if I wouldn't have played everything completely by the book, complete honor, then I could have been compromised. And what would have happened if I ever woke up feeling some kind of way? Compromised. What would I have done? And then I start thinking, I'm like, yo, homie's really a gangster, because that whole time, like after the first Cassie case came out, and he was just out smoking a joint, dancing, like literally to the day he went to jail, he was out in the park. Like, you would have never thought a person had all those problems. Like, I couldn't have handled that. So what it led me to believe is like, yo, things could be going a whole nother way over there, and you'd never know.
Meanwhile, videos of celebrities praising Beyonce have also been trending on TikTok, leading to another conspiracy theory that says Beyonce may have been involved in Aaliyah's death. Many online theorists credit this public admiration to Beyonce and Jay-Z's long-standing friendship with Diddy. However, why is Jay-Z and Beyonce getting so much attention now? Let's let Joe Jaguar explain.
Diddy, Devil. The devil. He's the devil. And if he ain't the devil, he is the damn short shepherd for him. He wants to be just like him. Let's get Diddy indicted and let's get Jay-Z up next.
Do you believe?
I promise you, whatever the diddler is being looked at for, Sean Carter aided and abetted or was directly involved. It's about to get real tense, and there's a lot of girls and boys who are still trapped inside the machine, working, paying their flesh debts. There's still a lot of them, and they know things that people ain't gonna be comfortable with them knowing. What people really need to be worried about is getting all of the witnesses to come forward before they disappear.
Why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
There's been obviously a lot of
cruelty-free artistry.
Right, there's been a lot of rumor mill about what has happened in the rap world. A lot of allegations that the misogyny in the lyrics clearly was based on a general misogyny towards women away from the music. And that clearly seems to have been borne out by these charges against Diddy, which if he's found guilty of all this, he's never coming out of prison. How dangerous do you think?
Thank God.
How dangerous do you think he is as a person?
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met.
Actually, things have gotten so tight between the power pair that they are said to have split up.
If certain things that I can't even speak on come out, she gone. She's gonna protect her image. All right. And this, I mean, I don't know what would be the bigger divorce, Will and Jada or Beyonce and Jay-Z. But just know everybody's gonna be talking about it. TMZ's gonna talk about it first, and we're gonna be talking about it probably for 6 months. Yeah, he knows it's about to be over. Shading the Grammys, shading the industry, and then they left after that. They left. He already knows. So what I'm realizing, and I was saying this to somebody the other day, you know, none of us ever really get away with what we do in life. Like, it comes back one way or another. And yeah, Satan is here to collect, Sean. Satan is here to collect. Now, Let me tell y'all where he got that damn hair from. Yeah. I mean, y'all should know this, but that was his inspiration for the hair. Jean-Michel Basquiat. That was the inspiration for the hair. Wasn't he by Rossi or Rossi? I think it's Rossi. Rossi, this is the entertainment industry. Pretty much everybody's by. I'm here to let y'all know. Pretty much everybody's by.
Furthermore, TikTok users have conjectured that Lisa left Celebs and Aya Michael Jackson's deaths may have been caused by Beyonce and Jay-Z.
We know that Diddy and Jay-Z have both been friends with R. Kelly for years, and Jay-Z continued to make albums with R. Kelly after all the information came out with him and Aaliyah. And I'd say this is because Jay-Z was pretty comfortable with the fact that he knew he also wanted Aaliyah, and honestly, so did Diddy. And Aaliyah's death has never sat right with me. There are so many sketchy things around her death that just don't make sense. The fact that Aaliyah was given a substance and knocked unconscious and then was carried onto this plane that she didn't want to get on because she thought that something was wrong with it that led to her death is just crazy. There's also even more disturbing information about Aaliyah's pilot of that plane, and they said that he had just joined the program 2 days prior before the flight, and he wasn't even supposed to be the pilot on that flight.
Aaliyah was sitting in a taxi as her team and the flight crew argued nearby about whether or not to take off, and she complained of having a headache. Now, reportedly, a baggage handler nearby said that someone from her entourage gave her a pill. She took the pill, and that right after, she fell into a very deep sleep. So deep, in fact, that she was carried onto the airplane still asleep and may not have even been aware that she was on the airplane. Now, we should say we don't know what that pill was. It could have been aspirin. Maybe she was just very tired from a long video shoot, and the baggage handler did say that she took it willingly, but it does reveal some new information about those final moments.
After the crash, investigators determined the small plane was carrying about 700 pounds over its limit, and this is important, the center of gravity was too far back in the aircraft.
The pilot did not want to make this trip, and he reportedly argued with Aaliyah's team because he thought that it was unsafe. So he did make those calculations, and he did decide that it was unsafe. However, after protracted negotiation, they went through with that flight. Now, we did also learn some new things about this pilot. According to autopsy results, he had both alcohol and cocaine in his system.
The pilot
did.
Whoa.
He was not the authorized pilot for that plane, and he had just joined that company a few days prior to that flight. So he was very new with that company.
Thank you for watching, everyone. That ends the video.